Ready, guys? We are ready. Welcome. I use the left-handed. It's like things like gradients like this. This was all made using the World Edit mod, but yeah, I do use World Edit a lot. So what I usually start with doing is I make a box. This is what most people start doing. And sometimes the only thing they get right. So yeah, we're going to be building a smaller house today. But yeah, here's what we have. We have a box. So now what I like to do is I like to add stuff onto this. And then at this point, I should add this. Maybe even make it a little bit bigger than that. You just end up expanding the box. Off of the house. But I think this is gonna be like a one-story house. But now I'm gonna cut off this area. And now we're gonna have this porch area. We're actually gonna expand this out more. We'll just get like a really replaceable block. Like a little weather, but not that way. So now at this point, I like to break all of this. And now here's our house layout. Now you don't just have to add like rectangles and squares, you can actually add circles. I have a pretty good example of a build I did that in. It's on my Minecraft server. What I did is I had like the square area. And then I had like some very similar to like this. And like here's the box. There's the square. You have that on the side, and as like you build it up, and this area reaches its roof. That is actually how. And when the area is going to go up to where it's like right. So say we really did have a flat roof, so I wouldn't really do that often. I've done it in one build recently. That build did end up looking pretty good.
Second position set to 121, minus 56, 93, 3640. First position set to 115, minus 56, 86, 56.
Okay, now ignore the
Operation completed.
overlay thing.
56 blocks affected.
Here, honestly.
Second position set to 115, minus 60, 93, 40. First position set to 121, minus 56, 86, 280. Operation completed. 280 blocks affected.
This is honestly one of my favorite building tricks to use. It's when this is one of the good ones you can use for like castle builds as well. Where right here it may look like, oh yeah, there's just like a little peak over there. Or even right here it may just look like, oh yeah, it goes into the wall. Then once that ends, you can continue the thing. It's also just a really fun trick I like to use. Okay. Now I delete that.
First position set to 112, minus 55, 93, 24.
Okay.
Second position set to 122, minus 60, 83, 726. Completed. 726
I actually
blocks
already
affected.
have chosen my blocks for this. So, and we're going to just make the house outline taller. For this, as I use world edit, and I'm actually just going to disable narrator. Let's see if I can copy that. Okay. Okay. Just to save you guys from all the grind, I'm going to do some of my gradients with this as well. Okay. And then, so at this point you'd be like, okay, and my door's right here. That actually would not be the best place to put your door. This would be the best thing to do with your door. Have it edge out from there. And just get some stairs. And do this. And have your door right here like this. So you can have like a front porch and decorate it. Maybe even I would do that. And then you can have like a flower bed right over here. So let me get some rooted dirt. Honestly, I can just get coarse dirt. Or you can just have little decorative features like this. Now, usually when I build, I actually have a friend be like my second set of eyes, almost. For me to be like, hey, is this good? And then they're like, either yes, or maybe I'd change this tiny aspect. So even as a good builder, you need that community. So yeah. But yeah, you can have just something like that. You could like have a crop garden here, so let me get one hoe. And then water. And seeds. And boom. Now you have your own little seedy garden. And this is not the blocks I'm going to use there, but okay, now I have the interior. I'm not going to get to the interior yet. We're going to do now ground layout, first of all. So for me, I've chosen this gradient over here. Except for I'm going to edit how they do it a little bit more. So that's just how well they did it. So now I'm going to do is I'm just going to make here to here. Waxed, exposed copper. Now, doesn't that look horrible? So you want to build with copper? Oh yeah, I'll build with copper. Makes that wall. What's wrong with it? Maybe I should add a little bit of detail. It will just be like this. It'll just be like, come on, I did a gradient. Shouldn't that make it look better? And it does make it look a little better. What really would make it look better is if you added a different type of block. So in my opinion, there are these. Okay. So the coppers. So you have them in 4 different groups of the type of copper. But you have your copper groups. And those are like your base groups. Like they have very similar textures and the same coloration. Now if they have the very similar textures in the same coloration, they're not going to be pleasing to look at if you have them all in one area. However, then if you add a little more stuff like adding granite around in your that's a lot better. Honestly, I'd actually say this is one where you'd want to go with your mains is the granite. With a little bit of copper sprinkled in, which should be cheaper, as well as it looks better. Yeah. Now we're just going to do this all around. Now, honestly, with this type of block, it's possible to have more gradient blocks. But I choose to have your main block type, which is going to be granite and polished granite, and then you have a secondary and potentially third. But this is my second and third. There you go. Okay. No, I would say I'm not looking forward to this interior. I mean, a monster interior. I don't shine in interior. There you go. I will admit, not every gradient build will look good. But I'm just mainly touching over stuff that I like to do, like my process. Not necessarily my prowess, because if it was that, I'd be doing the style of build I'm used to. It's not. I don't think I've ever built with this gradient before. Now, sometimes it's actually useful to have these little connectors between your different types of blocks as well. It's almost like it's flowing with the different type of block. Okay. And then stone and a spade. Okay, there you go. There's your little gradient before there to enter. Except I might actually do that darker. Like cobbled deep slate with deep slate, or cobbled deep slate with polished deep slate. Okay. Another thing I like to do is before I build, I'll actually assemble all of the blocks that I'd want to build with and do like detailing with on the side. So I'll mostly do this in like more modernistic type builds where like I might have a little bit of build stone, but yeah, no. Okay. Slash set granite. Hey, by the way, guys, a week ago I actually didn't know how to use this mod. Okay. Now tell me this. Which side looks better? This side? Or that? And then, yeah, for floor, I do gradients as well. Didn't tell I kind of do use a lot of gradients. Also, I just like to kind of kind of stuff like that. And then we're going to do that on the walls more. Sorry guys, this is live stream, so I actually cannot speed this up. I'm actually just going to go by this time, one block at a time. Okay, there we go. Another little wall with the pattern stuff. Supposedly to my curse forge. To my mod pack. This is more